ओ पढ़ाई भी करनी है, ओ फर्स्ट टाइम में ही निकालना है. I was like, these are just expectations from the society.
What leads you to take this step ahead that I want my time to figure out my why?
My why has always been very strong. I wanted to truly understand what I want to do in the future. I will not mess it up thinking कि ओ पढ़ाई भी करनी है, ओ फर्स्ट टाइम में ही निकालना है. I was like, these are just expectations from the society. It's not even your narrative.
When you hit the rock bottom, how have you come out of it?
Basically, anyone who's going through a bad phase right now, anyone who scored low in NEET PG, just imagine this to be your lowest point. Any effort that you put from now onwards will only take you up. And I was so grateful that Salaah Shots became famous during that time because I came across Dr. Anisha. Her faith in me was like, it was a game changer for me. You know, that the right mentorship and the right guidance, that is what really matters.
Hi Arushi, thank you for coming for this podcast. I have witnessed your journey when you were doing the prep, and that's the reason we thought of let's bring the story out for every aspirant who have achieved the rank this year, to let the message out for everyone who is going to prepare in future that it was not easy for you and for anyone. It's just a process which is typical for everybody, but if you'll stick to it with right approach and right mindset, you will be able to cross the other side of the tunnel. So I want you to introduce yourself first, and then we can move ahead with the journey, with our story altogether.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being over here. It's been a dream, you know, to come for an interview after I watched last year's interviews. And it just feels very overwhelming. So thank you so much. And so I'm Arushi. I am from PGIMS Rohtak, 2017 batch. So I did not start studying right away after my internship. I took like sort of a drop year, like not even a drop year. I took like a year just to chill. Like my college teaches a lot of things on duty during internship. So I had told my parents that I will not be touching my books. I will not be studying at all. And I will just be learning whatever is taught to me, you know, during these duties. And I'll take a drop and I'll prepare after that. So then, you know, during that time, all I did was I assembled all of the resources that I was supposed to follow, you know, and I think there's a lot of taboo maybe in India regarding a drop year, you know. जैसे ही drop year बोल दो, people start to panic, or, you know, relatives start to judge and everything. So thankfully, I was away from such people. All of my friends were very supportive, my parents very supportive. So that way I was very blessed and privileged. And I think drop year, calling it a drop year is what creates that anxiety. So yeah, so I just started calling it a preparatory year. You know,
Nice.
yeah. So I just changed my perspective. क्योंकि जितना मैं drop year बोलूंगी उतना drop is a very negative word, right? And you know, anyone who's preparing, this is the turning point of your career. And I think calling it a drop year just drops all of that essence, you know. So yeah, that's something I did. And I think that is what started very positively. That's how my journey started positively. Yeah.
So you have already showed that courage that no matter what's everybody showing and rushing around for PG in internship or PG just after internship, you have taken your good enough time to figure it out, that what to do, how to do. So I think you're already very sorted in mindset and out of that rat race and the FOMO thing. So
yeah,
what leads you and motivates you to take this step ahead, that I want my time to figure out my why, and then I will start the prep? And how have you managed yourself during that phase? What were you doing?
Yeah. Okay. So my why has always been very strong. Like ever since I can remember, like, do you remember back in school, people used to ask, "Wo hota tha na, what do you want to become when you grow up?" So ever since I can remember, I have wanted to be a doctor. In fact, I wanted to be a surgeon since I was in grade 5. Like me
Wow.
and my mother, yeah. So my mother, she told me about this cardiac transplant that had taken place for the first time. And I was like, "Mujhe ye karna hai." I didn't know anything about it, but it drove me. So ever since that time, I just wanted to be a surgeon. So I never doubted my why of it. But I feel when I joined college, it, the why, it gets a little lost in translation because you're forced to just rot learn a lot of things. There's not a lot of clinical aspect to it, right? So internship, I feel, is the only phase where it's all clinical. You don't need to go to books. You just go to clinics and you manage patients. You talk to residents how to manage a patient, how to diagnose them. And I wanted that thrill because I wanted to be reminded that this is why I came into, MBBS. This is what I want to do. So you won't believe it. Like we have a two month rotation in medicine and surgery. And I have done my friend's surgery posting as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that is how much I loved it. And I knew that, as first year residents, you can't manage duties and padhai side by side, right? So this is something I knew that if I wanted to, really truly understand what I want to do in the future, I will not mess it up thinking ki, oh, padhai bhi karni hai, oh, first time mein hi nikalna hai. I was like, these are just expectations from the society. It's not even your, narrative. So I was like, I will not step on that. And since everyone around me is very supportive, ki tu kar enjoy, you find your reason to be in this profession, I continued that way. So, the why just always stuck with me. So
I'm so proud of you for that. Like it already shows that being clear that what I want, it really gives us a lot of direction and ease away or take away a lot of pressure which society imposes on us. There is no hard and fast compulsion to start NEET PG prep from second year and bombarding ourselves with lot of only contents to consume rather than becoming a doctor. You are becoming a one who is who's preparing to pass an exam.
Yeah, exactly. And I never believed in this, when I started off in college, we did not know about apps and everything that we have to follow. So in first and second year, I only read standard books. Like I learned from standard books. I did not have Marrow at that time or Prep or whatever, any XYZ app. And I loved that phase because I feel decoding books by your own, that is what makes you, actually learn the concept. Because when you decode it yourself, someone's not spoon feeding it to you. And I think that is the entire joy of learning, which gets lost in this phase.
Very true, very true. I've heard it from so many like people while talking last year also and this year that you have to spend good enough time with textbooks to understand that how you are forming your reasoning. There's a way to teach our own self that how to learn rather than somebody is telling me and I'm consuming. There's a way we have to train ourselves how to learn, to ask the right questions. So, and that comes only when we'll spend time with textbooks. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like that is also something like, this fear of wanting to get into PG, clearing it in the first time, all of this creates so much pressure on you. And when there is so much pressure, you are bound to, not do well in the exam. Because I think the one thing I did not even give my internship attempt. Like I skipped that exam altogether. I went for a trip because I knew I had to study. So I was like, and put that money to good use and I will enjoy. And I did that and I loved it. And last year I had so much pressure because everyone kept telling me कि अब तो निकालना ही है, अब तो drop ले लिया, अब तो पढ़ रही हो. I was like, ठीक है, मैं पढ़ रही हूँ, हो जाएगा, अगर होना होगा होगा, right? But I was under so much pressure and I got a rank of 20,000 in last year NEET PG. And that was just horrible because I was scoring well in GTs. I was doing well overall. I knew my content was strong, but it was just the last day anxiety and those 3.5 hours that I couldn't follow through. And I think if you're anxious during your 3.5 hours, then your entire year's preparation goes down the hill.
Definitely. See, competitive exam, knowing content is one thing, and knowing how to write an exam is altogether a different ballgame.
Yeah.
Any competitive exam, it's a lot about, do you understand how to manage your emotions and navigate those 3 hours well?
Yeah.
Because I don't think the one who is scoring 10,000 or the 1,000, there's a lot difference in them in terms of content.
Yeah.
It's more around how smartly they learn to give any competitive exam. Giving an exam, it's an art itself.
Yeah, very true. And I understood this very later on, when I already screwed up an exam. And but then, I think failure really does teach you more. Because last year when I got this rank, this was my low point. I did not expect this. I had expected things to go way better. And after that, a lot of people told me ki private se kar le, don't take a drop, do DNB, do anything, right? XYZ. I was like, no, this wasn't my best attempt. I am not satisfied with my attempt. I'll give it another try. So, when I think when you hit rock bottom, then there's only two things that can happen. Either you can go sinking down that rock bottom, or you can think, isse niche to main ja hi nahi sakti na. This is the lowest point for me. Iske aage to kuch bhi kiya, it'll be better than this. Because after this, I sat for November INI. And I knew that around 60,000-70,000 people will be sitting for it. And around 30,000-35,000 people will qualify, right? Because 50% qualify. So I was like, ठीक है, इससे कम आ गई तो qualify नहीं करूंगी. So my fear of, a rank or a score, it went away, because that moment it just helped me realize that no rank will define me after this. Nothing can break me after this. It's only up. And I think it's because I kept this attitude throughout those 2.5 months of preparation. I was able to jump from 20,000 to 3,500.
Wow.
Yeah. And obviously in that time, you can't add a lot of content. I didn't add a lot of content. I revised what I knew. But on the day of the exam, I just went with a very clear head that I have to give the happiest exam of my life. I went with a smile, sat with a smile for those 3 hours. My cheeks started to hurt by the end of it, but I was like, I'm not stopping. And I came back with a very big smile that I gave it a very good attempt. Dekhi jayegi.
Wow. There's so much like positivity in you, and I think that is what helped you in sailing through it so beautifully. So coming back to this, that when you said that when you hit the rock bottom, how have you come out of it? Because I have seen very few people coming out of that rock bottom, and most of them started self-doubting themselves. So if you have to pass a message to them, what that can be and how you have come out of it?
Yeah. So basically, anyone who's going through a bad phase right now, anyone who scored low in NEET PG, lower than your expectations, it's okay. Just imagine this to be your lowest point. Any effort that you put from now onwards will only take you up. I think it was very important that I had a very good support system around me. Because anytime that I started to doubt myself, I would turn to just two people for advice. It was mom and dad, like literally. And I was so grateful that Salaah Shots was launched around that time. It became famous during that time because I came across Dr. Anisha, right? And I always liked her vibe. Like, I really liked how positive she is and everything. And that's when I booked a call with her. And I told her that this is this, I've done all of this, I've studied, and I don't know where I went wrong. So that is when she told me, step back and, really retrospect, really understand where you went wrong. So during that half an hour call itself, I realized that I didn't attempt the paper well. And I second guessed myself a lot. I was underconfident. So she said, now it's all okay. No, you know the problem. And you just have to be confident. And that means solving more questions and revising your content once more. So I think her faith in me was like, it was a game changer for me, because if a person with that brilliant a rank is telling you that you have it in you to, get a better rank, I knew, and I also had some faith in myself that I knew better than this, because I watched recalls and I realized how much I had messed it up. So I knew it was in there. I just had to find my competitive and a happy competitive side of me, and that is what kept me going through. Anytime I was falling back, I used to go to the washroom, look at myself in the mirror, and tell myself, "Ki, if you can't do it, no one can do it."
Wow.
Yeah.
फाड़ तो मैं हुई.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, मैं कर लूंगी. I will do it. And I think having a little, crazy faith in yourself, even if it's very far-fetched, I think that is very important. Positive self-talk is a game changer. Like, honestly, for students who didn't do well this time, even if you study a little bit every day, but you tell yourself this every morning, ki main kar lungi, trust me, your rank will improve so much in November INI, because this exam is a little bit about content, but more than that, it is about the mindset.
Very true.
So I think that is what changed. I was like, I don't think content is an issue with me. I don't think applying, facts to a question is an issue. I just have to, be more positive a person, have more mental clarity. I started working out. Like, I gained weight like crazy during this preparatory phase. I used to binge eat all day. And that didn't change even before NEET PG 25. So, but it's okay. But I never stopped talking positive about myself. And I had withdrawn from anyone who gave me a negative, input. I stopped checking my WhatsApp, stopped picking up calls from people who I knew I didn't want any input from. Once you decide very headstrongly that you are going to give another attempt, you don't need anyone's validation.
Yes.
That is what I realized. And I think you guys kept so many webinars, right, from toppers and everything. That was like, anytime I used to feel down, uske baad usually coincidentally there was a notification कि अब webinar हो रहा है. I was like, okay, fine, मैं वहीं जाके I will just, say whatever I have to, get over it and start again. You just can't give up on yourself, right? Because the prepAIR is when everyone will be doubting you. And if you start doubting yourself, then it's game over. You have to be your biggest cheerleader.
Agreed. And we have to stand by our own self. That
yeah.
कर लूंगी, भरोसा, खुद पे भरोसा होना बहुत जरूरी. You said it very true. And I even remember Anisha is always so supportive of you. I remember when the long mentorship thing was going on, उसके पास spot नहीं था. Her spot was all booked, and I was very rigid that nobody can take more than 2 or 3 mentees. She called me, कि ma'am, please Arushi को ले लो. She'll do wonderful. I know she has a lot of potential. Please, ma'am. I was like, ठीक है, आप बोल रहे हो, आपको करना है, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, because she was so much for you that, ma'am, वो कर सकती है. I know her. She'll do it. So she really wanted your good. I have seen that in her, that she wanted you to succeed. She wanted you to come out of it and have. She has that faith in you कि आप कर लोगे.
Yeah, I know. Like, even before the exam, she told me that I can do it. Don't go thinking about anything. You will do amazing. And I remember this. I remember her telling me कि slots nahi hai, but I'll make a slot for you. Don't worry about it, and everything will be okay. I think someone else who doesn't even know you that well, having that amount of faith in you, that changes everything. I remember you said somewhere, that the right mentorship and the right guidance, that is what really matters. And I think that is what I experienced in this phase, that you have to surround yourself with only positive people, people who will only push you forward. Because NEET being the competitive exam that it is, people around you don't want you to do better than you're doing, right?
Right.
So they'll try to bring you down. Us case mein, you really have to have that inner circle of 3-4 people who you trust, who will only, say the right things. For that matter of reason, like Dr. Anisha, I made plans of meeting with her. I was like, after NEET PG, I'll come to Chandigarh. She was like, yeah, you better tell me when you come. I got to that point. It wasn't just a mentorship anymore. It was actually a friendship. And I cherish that so much.
And I think that's the beauty, that when you are alone in this prep, you have somebody who genuinely want your good, who have already out of that competition zone from you, and they just want your good. So it was very important to, so it's very important to create that in this medical community, because it itself is a very long, tedious and lonely journey. And if you'll find your right buddy in this, there's nothing better than that. Because I genuinely believe that doctors themselves are a very talented and smart people. It's just that उनका पूरा curriculum ऐसे design किया गया है, they ended up being so isolated and lonely. So if we'll give them right kind of support, they'll do wonders. So this faith always keeps me ki just right support system, though you won't believe that what magic they can do. Exactly. So I think that really worked. And I've even seen ki Brahmjot ke case mein, her mentees used to ask him, "Ma'am, aaj movie dekhne chale jaye." So it's more around ki it's a very closed, long mentorship itself is a very close group. Anisha have 2 or 3 people. Avneet scored really well. Anisha ka, you scored amazing. So it's all about कि वो 2-3 लोगों को सब पता होता था. Anisha को उनके बारे में सब पता है, आपको उनके बारे में सब पता है. And then there's this, it's all about कि it's very close friendship, which is getting formed here. It's like a right community set. So I mean, like, I have seen groups में people talking about कि मैम हार्ट ब्रेक हो गया है, पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है because वो नाराज है. Everything they talk about to their mentors. Because end of the day, everybody is human being. उस phase में होगा ना चीजें.
Yeah, so, exactly. And then, you know, after Anisha, I also, I think Dr. Norbert, she came after November INI, right? She joined. Yeah. Oh, she is one person who, again, like anytime things used to go wrong in my life, no? एक एग्जाम खराब चला गया या एक जीटी खराब चला गया, I used to keep texting her. I was like, क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है? And I used to annoy her so much, I'm pretty sure. But like before NEET PG, I remember I called her like जब postponement हुआ था. I was like, मेरा May INI में I got 2100 in May INI. And I was disappointed because I expected more. And you know, because in an exam like INI, it's top 1000 or even top 500 and nothing else, right? उसमें भी बहुत मुश्किल है अपना branch मिलना. So I knew I would get nothing over here. So I told her, I was like, अब मैं क्या करूँ? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. So she calmed me down. She was like, तुझे सब आता है. बोलती इतना तो NEET में ले आएगी ना, you will get anything you want. So she said, for the next 2 months, you just stay consistent. You study whatever you can, and you don't pressure yourself. Okay, so that you don't drop below. Because there's a very high chance a lot of people must have dropped their scores during the postponement. Postponement was very heavy on everyone because, you know, you just expect कि अब बस खत्म होने वाला है. वो countdown शुरू हो जाता है ना दिमाग में कि अब इस phase से खाली हो, free हो जाओगे. And then when that takes a hit, you've been isolated for so long कि आपका mental health takes a hit with that postponement. Yeah. So she was like, जा, बोलती एक हफ्ता please घर से निकल and enjoy. बोलती don't study, it's okay, take a break. You've studied enough and just have faith, but you need this breather. So take it. So I went and met my friends and I loved it. And I think that is one thing that prevented burnout right before NEET PG, because I'd already taken a break and I knew a break was coming again after NEET PG. So, you know, and then again, I remember I texted her बीच में कि अब मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं extra क्या करूँ. She said, keep revising it. She said, you know your source and you just have to rote learn it by heart so that कुछ भी दिख गया exam में तुम mark कर दोगे आंखें बंद करके, इतना confidence लगाओ. So I mean, both of these people have been a blessing to me because I remember even Dr. Nobel telling me, she was like, jaldi se apna exam khatam kar, we have to meet. And I
think we all should meet. I should come to Chandigarh and host an event and we all should meet.
Yeah, I really agree with that. You should. Chandigarh is beautiful anyway.
I will plan very soon.
Yeah. But you know, I really think I am a positive person usually because of my surroundings and because of my family. But I think during a hard phase like NEET PG and these competitive exams, I think the platform that you've given, for students to open up and to, get past their, like you said, personal issues, physical, mental health issues, I think all of these get tackled, and that is what helps. I don't think strategy is what people run behind from, mentors. I think it's how to keep an overall balance, how
Right.
to be, yeah.
Yeah, complete. I won't cut.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like, I think that overall wellness, that is what keeps getting reinstated by, your platform. That, come, talk, feel lighter, and then go back to studying, because that's what you have to do. Like, believe it or not, we're doctors, right? At the end, we're still doctors. Now, after this exam, we'll become specialized doctors, but we're still doctors right now. Have faith that you've gone through worse and you've come back stronger. So what makes NEET PG different? It's the same.
Right. When you have cracked NEET UG, it's also one of the toughest exams. You were a kid back then. And
Exactly.
you are a doctor, you are grown up. So
Yeah.
you can manage this. It's just an exam.
Exactly.
Even so the way you said that, yeah, the reaffirmation, somebody believes in you and say that, okay, you're doing this thing wrong, fix this up, and then you're good to go for any prep. I remember there's a one mentee who keeps on booking session every 2 months just to show her a plan which she created. So
Yeah.
she used to book plans with I remember Anisha only कि मैम मेरा ये टाइम टेबल है 2 महीने का ये है कुछ चेंज लग रहा है तो बता दो else I'll follow this. उसमें जो भी improvements होता था she used to tell. They just used to make 30-minute session. They used to make plan. वो 2 महीने follow होता था फिर he used to book a session. So it's all about कि showing what you do in this journey of like just this journey of doing everything alone. You find somebody whom you just show and take their input कि सही जा रहा हूँ या गलत जा रहा हूँ तो कहाँ जा रहा हूँ बता दो I'll fix it up.
Exactly.
पढ़ाई तो आप लोग कर ही लोगे पूरे 6 साल वही करा आपने.
और उसके बाद भी करना ही है ना, लाइक रेजिडेंसी में तो और भी करना है, तो आई थिंक इट्स दैट
अकाउंटेबिलिटी. आई जेन्युइनली बिलीव कि डॉक्टर्स जब बोर होते हैं तब वो पढ़ाई कर लेते हैं. डॉक्टर्स का कंफर्ट जोन क्या है? पढ़ाई करना. आई हैव सीन ओनली कि अगर मैं बोर हो रही हूँ पीजी कर लिया, सुपर स्पेशलाइजेशन कर लेती हूँ, सुपर स्पेशलाइजेशन हो गया फेलोशिप कर लेती हूँ. वो सिर्फ मतलब फॉर देम द कंफर्ट इज टू स्टडी.
मुझे मतलब आफ्टर नीट पीजी आई थिंक आई टुक लाइक अ 2-3 वीक ब्रेक जब तक रिजल्ट नहीं आया था, एंड मैं उसी 2-3 वीक्स में आई स्टार्ट गेटिंग बोर्ड. आई वाज लाइक अब मैं क्या करूं, आदत हो गई है, मैं नवंबर INI के लिए पढ़ना शुरू कर देती हूँ. एंड आई रिमेम्बर टॉकिंग टू डॉक्टर नोबल अबाउट दिस. आई वाज लाइक अब मैं पढ़ना शुरू कर दूंगी. बोलती प्लीज ब्रेक ले ले, व्हाट आर यू क्रेजी, लाइक जस्ट टेक अ ब्रेक. सो या, but you're very right. It's, it becomes part of your nature to just go back to studying. Studying becomes your happy place after a while, which I think is very important as well for our, profession. Because you have to be on your tips at all times. But I think taking a break every now and then is very necessary.
Very necessary that for you also have to, because in general medicine is very demanding. Yeah. And for you to perform well, you need to have enough breaks too. Because human body को deal कर रहे हैं, but you are human being too. Exactly. I know कि next to God, but
no, not at all.
So see, in general, it says, and I too believe that you all have a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. So ये जो आप लोगों को what to say, so ये जो responsibility दी है ना कि that the doctors are next to God, it comes with a lot of responsibility too. ये free में नहीं आई है. It's lot of pressure and lot of things on all your hand. And I know you all have to perform well. आज तक doctors करते आए हैं, आगे भी करेंगे. But they need break too because their mental health is going on a toll. And for that, they have to have been in the right set of surrounding, right community. उनको भी right support system उनके लिए बनाना बहुत जरूरी है. So the way you have get the help now, it will be your responsibility to pass the help to another people who are coming up. So it's all about give and take. वो तो चलता ही रहेगा.
I mean, really, if there's something that anyone wants to take away from this, it really is key. Trust me, today or tomorrow, you will crack the exam. Because you have it in you, and same resources as सब same पढ़ रहे हैं. But I think having that right mindset during an exam is all that it comes down to. इसीलिए अभी से if anyone is preparing for NEET PG, start exercising at least half an hour a day or go for a walk, clear your head, because this phase is already tough. You don't have to make it tougher than it is. At least spend half an hour with your parents every day or your friends, talk to them, go for a walk, have your favorite food on days you feel low. एंड मेरा तो ना मैंने जीटी डे ऐसा बनाया हुआ था, जीटी डे पे या तो मेरा हाफ डे होता था, आई यूज्ड टू गिव अ जीटी, आई यूज्ड टू रिव्यू इट एंड देन आई ईदर यूज्ड टू गो आउट फॉर अ कप ऑफ कॉफी ताकि मुझे बाहर की दुनिया दिख जाए, या फिर आई यूज्ड टू गो टू अ गुरुद्वारा जब मैं बहुत ही लो हो रही हूँ. आई यूज्ड टू गो एंड जस्ट सिट ओवर देयर कि क्या चल रहा है. आई यूज्ड टू रैंट फॉर अ लिटिल टाइम एंड देन आई यूज्ड टू कम बैक एंड इट फेल्ट लाइटर. I think that is very important. Keep giving yourself breaks because you deserve it.
Very true, very true. So coming back to, I think, am I missing any such 1 minute? We'll just figure it out. कि कुछ और angle we have to talk about. Yes. So anyway, you have talked about your GT days. How was your GT journey? The GT plateau, the GT score stuck, and whatnot.
Okay, so the first GT that I'd given, I think I scored 98 or 96. I got 98 or 96, right, out of 200. And I was very happy. I was like, ठीक है, अभी तो शुरू किया है. I was very okay with it. See, I never took scores honestly to heart because the person that I followed for my studies, she kept reiterating that no exam counts, no exam score will be counted. कोई तुमसे जब तुम practice कर रहे होगे, no one is going to ask कि तुम्हारा GT में कितना आया था. All they care is that you're over there, and you're over there because of your NEET rank. So if it's not an exam, like if it's not your final NEET exam or INI, no other score matters. And I think it was very important. अपना एक mentor ऐसा बना लो in terms of पढ़ाई जिसका तुम A to Z follow करो उसके बाद, और किसी की मत सुनो. Like I remember following everything she said very seriously because I was like, अगर मैं किसी की बात सुन रही हूँ मैं अच्छे से सुनूंगी. तो GT score उसके बाद so I did my first read that was from BTR and I supplemented it with RR, and I think after that it improved to 120, 126. So before November 23, 126 correct was my highest. And I got a rank of 9 or 10,000 in that November INI. So I was like, it's okay. At least all the questions felt familiar. I took that win. I think it's very important to find small wins in every exam that you give. For example, my rank wasn't obviously something that will get me anything. But I was very happy that in my first read, even in the exam, I could pinpoint कि ये यहाँ पे पढ़ा है मैंने. I'm just not able to pinpoint it, just not able to remember it very nicely. So recall error hai. It's okay, I'll work on it. So then from November to May, I worked on that. But during that phase is when my GT scores plateaued at around 130, 140. And that started taking a toll on my health, my mental health. I was like, now what do? I have studied so much and now I need to get a good rank because now people expect from me and, I expect from myself. And May INI was disastrous. Like I had the same rank, literally the same rank. But you don't expect that. After 6 months, you expect some kind of, an improvement in your rank or score. And it was just stuck. And I think GTs being stuck was not that big of an issue for me as much as scores and ranks being, the same in consecutive competitive exams. After May INI, I couldn't get out of bed for like 2 weeks. I was honestly depressed pretty much, like not clinically, but apne way mein I was very sad. And that's how I ended up not studying for NEET that much. Postponements happen, lots of things. And I let every single thing affect me. I let every single self-doubt come to my mind. Everything used to trigger me. And I flunked it. 20,000 was my rank in NEET. After that, that is when I started preparing seriously, like I told you. First of all, my mindset totally shifted. I was like, it's okay. Nothing matters. तुमने इतना कर लिया है, तुम्हें सब आता है, you're just screwing up how you give the paper. That is what you have to learn. And that is when I started adding a little bit. Like when my GT scores were stuck at 130, 140, that is when I started supplementing from main videos. You know, because people say main videos karna is impossible and you don't have to do main videos, but there are some scary topics in your journey. मैं आज तक बता सकती हूँ मैं कौन से टॉपिक से भागती हूँ, या मेरा जीटी में मुझे पता है कौन सा गलत होगा ही होगा. तो ऐसी चीजें अगर प्रीवियस ईयर पूछी गई हैं, if there are topic, previous year topic, do it from main videos because it will take half the time that it will take you to do an RR video. And it will be so targeted कि उसके बाद ना आपको अपने आप में faith हो जाएगा that अब तो मैंने ये main video से भी कर लिया, अब मुझसे कुछ भी पूछ लो, I'll be able to answer it. So that is how I started building my confidence on stuff. For example, my anat and physio were very weak. उसके लिए I went selectively to main videos. Renal physio was very weak. Anat में embryology was weak. I did those from main videos and I clarified them as it, you know, I gave myself as much time as I wanted and मैं करती गई उसको ठीक. And honestly, this adding from main videos plus the right mindset, that is what took me from 140 to 150 in 2.5 months. That is how I broke my plateau.
Wow.
So sometimes, you know, content is an issue. Sometimes maybe try taking a week's break from studies. Try just going out with friends, having a cup of coffee, and then come back and give a GT. Trust me, that will be your highest scoring GT. Because all of that anxiety, all of that being stuffed in a room, you know, all day, all of that will go away. And that is and आपका मतलब brain space will just expand so much ना कि वो anxiety नहीं है, no negative thoughts, and you will automatically perform better. So yeah, that is what helped me. And in the final thing, like from November INI to NEET PG and May 25, that is when I started doing lots of tests. I gave every test that came my way. Any free test किसी भी platform ने अगर announce किया, I used to give free GTs. I used to, I completed question bank for all of my weak subjects. And I just kept on, like my day used to start with questions, my day used to end with questions. I used to do at least 200 questions a day.
Wow. How your day usually used to look like?
Okay, so for I'm not a morning person. I'm not an early bird. I tried doing that a lot, but I'm a night owl. Okay, so I used to wake up at around 10ish. And to get me out of bed, I used to make a 50 question custom module. And that used to be non-PYQ based and it was medium difficulty. Because I was like, I will only improve if I see कि मेरा कुछ lag कर रहा है, कि मैं कुछ गलत कर रही हूँ. Because कभी-कभी ना वो आपको लगने लग जाता है कि मुझे तो सब आता है theory wise. तो वो अपना एक ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस को ब्रेक करने के लिए, या टू गेट योरसेल्फ आउट ऑफ बेड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट स्केयर, आई यूज्ड टू डू दैट. 50 क्वेश्चंस किया, उसमें से 30-35 ठीक होते थे एंड आई यूज्ड टू बी लाइक, ओ शिट, ये एग्जाम में हो गया तो क्या, एंड आई यूज्ड टू वेक अप and I used to review those in 30 minutes. 50 questions I used to review in 30 minutes. I just used to go through the questions that I did wrong very well. And जो right होते थे, I just used to flip through those. उसके बाद जो भी मैंने अपना डे बनाया हुआ था, like I used to do one subject per day. I wasn't multiple subject per day वाला, you know, person. तो जो भी मैंने किया है, उसका जो primary resource था, for me it was BTR. So I used to do active recall. So about they take a blank PDF and I just used to recall whatever I could about that topic. Then I used to read through those topics. इसी में मेरा I think 3 घंटा तो चला ही जाता था सुबह. Then once I was very sure, because when you recall topics, even in your mind, it gives you so much confidence कि बिना text देखे आप dictate कर पा रहे हो एक topic को. तो मैं ये हर दिन किया. I think I did this for a year. For anything, any subject, even subjects that used to scare me, I did that. Then during lunch break, I had like a 1-hour lunch break where I used to watch a show and have food आराम से. फिर उसके बाद नींद आने लग जाती थी lunch के बाद. So I started watching a video, like one END, any test and discussion. I used to put it on 2x and I used to walk and listen to it. So 1.5 hours I just used to keep walking and listening to it. तो उससे नींद भी चली जाती थी और वो डेली एक्टिविटी भी आ जाती थी. And again, you're listening to test and discussion, so you're solving MCQs. That is already a win. फिर उसके बाद I used to do PYQs of the subject that I was recalling in the morning. And अगर जो भी गलत होता था, I used to go back to my supplement resource for that. तो ऐसे मेरा शाम तक हो जाता था, ऐसे usually रात तक ही चलता था ये पूरा. And then at night again I used to do a 50 question का custom module and sleep after reviewing it.
Nice. It has a culmination of a lot of solving questions rather than just passive. It's a very active, your day looks like very active consumption of things rather than वो passively बस video watch कर रहे थे.
Yeah, but I think that came only after I knew that I had a strong base in my content. उसके लिए आपको ना लोग बहुत भागते हैं कि first read जल्दी से खत्म करो अपना, first read बहुत जल्दी करो. My first read took around 4.5 months. I gave it a lot of time and I annotate very beautifully. मुझे सुंदर लिखने की आदत है, तो मैं बहुत आराम से different color pens use करके I did a lot of मेहनत in my first read, because you need to understand कि first read जो भी आप लिख रहे हो वही subsequent revisions में you will read it. तो जितना easy आप अपना मतलब जितना difficult आप अपना first read बना रहे हो उतना easy आपकी revisions होंगी, because you would have already done the hard work all, right? तो जब मेरा ये content sort हो गया था, like I did this first read, I did 2-3 revisions, उसके बाद जाके I switched to questions, because that is when I knew that I couldn't learn from theory anymore. So that is when I used to do an MCQ, and then retrograde I used to go to that theory to fix it.
Yeah, retrograde in general is the approach I also really love about, and I've seen that it works magic. So if somebody have this thing, I believe that if I'll do 100 questions a day, if I'm following retrograde approach, so I'm going back and reading 100 topics again in that particular day. So retrograde works.
Yeah.
And is anything? So you also said that you knew your hardest or difficult subject and the topic. Yeah. And we all as a human being shy away or even run away from the difficult thing we have to face. So how have you convinced yourself to do that or face that challenge and come out of it?
Okay, so for this, a bad result was my biggest push. After NEET 2024, I realized that the questions and the topics that I'm shying away from, even if they get asked in their easiest form, I was going to mess it up because of my psyche. Because in my mind, I knew कि मुझे ये topic नहीं आता. This actually happened in NEET 24. Renal physio का बहुत easy question पूछा हुआ था, like basic calculation. And because I knew कि renal physio है, I messed it up. मेरा दिमाग पहले ही it went haywire and I couldn't think straight. And मैंने वो question छोड़ दिया. Like I actually spent 5 minutes on that question and then I left it. And that is when I realized कि I can't mess it up in my final exam. क्योंकि even one question, it counts in the end.
Right.
And अगर easy आ रहा है, फिर तो बिल्कुल ही गलत नहीं कर सकते. तो I mean, it's better to face your fears while preparing rather than face your fears directly in the exam. This is what I learned the hard way. कि एग्जाम में देख के घबराने से बेटर है जीटी में गलत करते रहो, कोई बात नहीं, कस्टम मॉड्यूल में बार-बार गलत करो, बट इतनी बार करोगे वो मसल मेमोरी बैठ जाएगा कि उसको एग्जाम में ठीक कर दोगे, एंड दैट इज व्हाट काउंट्स.
राइट.
आई थिंक मेरा मेजर we talked about GTs as well. I think a lot of people are scared of GTs and MCQs in general. No one is looking at your GT score. घर पे बैठे किसी को मत बताओ, और अगर कोई पूछ रहा है उसको 20-30 एक्स्ट्रा करके बता दो क्या जा रहा है. How does it matter? No.
Yeah.
But no one is checking your GT score and test scores. I used to make it a point never to share my scores with anyone, because I was like, ना मुझे तुम्हारा जानना है ना तुम मेरा जानो. ठीक है, those are just for you. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, ये लोग जो जो पीपल मेक रील्स ना ऐसे जीटी स्कोर को कंपाइल करके एट द एंड एंड देन बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट आ जाता है, तो वो ऐसे इतने मोटिवेशनल सॉन्ग्स लगाते हैं, उसको याद करके जस्ट स्टडी अभी ना, गंदे से जितना गंदे से शुरू कर रहे हो, जितना प्लेटू रह रहा है, उतना यू आर बिकमिंग एन इंस्पिरेशन फॉर समवन इन द फ्यूचर, that you will tell them your story, how you got stuck and then how you got out of it.
You're such a positive person. I'm so happy talking to you. Such a cutie.
So much. Yeah. So that was what I did. And बाकी हाँ, अपने आप को बस ये बहुत ही blind faith रखो. Like I still, मेरा जो goal था ना, I made a vision board starting this year. I never believed in vision boards and stuff. तो लेकिन इस बार इतना ज्यादा क्रेज चल जाता है ना कई चीजों का, तो वो सोशल मीडिया पे चल गया था और मैं थक गई लोगों के देख देख के, ऐसा चलो मैं भी खुद का एक बना लेती हूँ. तो आई पुट इन व्हाट आई वांटेड, एक उसका फोटो, एक जो इंस्टीट्यूट मुझे चाहिए था, एक जिस सिटी में मुझे रहना है, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आई पुट लाइक फिजिकल हेल्थ एंड हेल्दी ईटिंग एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. ऐसा सब कुछ करके मैंने आई मेड अ विजन बोर्ड एंड आई पेस्टेड इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. तो एनी डे दैट आई यूज्ड टू फील डीमोटिवेटेड, आई वाज लाइक तुझे इंटरव्यू देना है ना, तो इट्स ओके, मतलब यू विल टॉक अबाउट योर लोएस्ट पॉइंट्स टू पीपल एंड दे विल रिलेट टू यू, सो यू गेट आउट ऑफ दैट फॉर देम, फॉर योर फ्यूचर सेल्फ. एंड आई थिंक दैट कॉन्स्टेंट रिमाइंडर ऑन द वॉल कि यहाँ मुझे पहुंचना है, दैट नेवर मेड मी क्विट इवन अ डे. लाइक आई यूज्ड टू हैव बैड डेज, बट उन दिन में भी मैं एक 50 कस्टम मॉड्यूल का वो करके आई यूज्ड टू सॉल्व इट, नेवर यूज्ड टू गिव.
So what is on your vision board? कौन सी सिटी में रहना है, कौन सा ब्रांच करना है? The mystery.
No. So Mera is Delhi, and
I am in Delhi. So anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So
and I want surgery. Yeah.
Wow. So you taking surgery, I'm anywhere proud of you for that. कि even because there's a thing कि मेरी top rank आ गई, अब तो मुझे कुछ भी मिल सकता है, तो I'll rush behind. Why not rush behind those branch? तो
I can't tell you the amount of messages I've gotten कि ओ तुम्हारा ये rank आ गया, अब तो तुम रेडियोडर्मा ले रहे होगे. I was like, just shut up, don't make me doubt myself. मुझे surgery ही चाहिए. So because that's my why, right? That is why I went through this entire journey to reach that point. रेडियोडर्मा लेके शायद मैं चिल रहूंगी for 3 years in my life, but I will get bored because I know myself. I know I want to be busy. I know I want to do something actively. So
I've seen this. The people who have this surgical inclination, they always enjoy that branch too. I remember when Sagar wrote during internship attempt, he was getting that college in Pondicherry. Jipma, and he was getting ENT there. He was then he lied everybody in the parent family कि मेरे को कुछ मिल ही नहीं रहा because he wanted surgery, and then later he disclosed कि मेरे को surgery चाहिए था इसीलिए मैंने नहीं लिया. And even I've come across, and I used to ask him कि तुमको like how do you feel कि तुम्हारा दिन अच्छा था, and I was like जिस दिन खून टच करता हो ना, जिस दिन खून से टच नहीं होता तो उस दिन लगता है कि दिन अच्छा नहीं निकला. I was like what kind of psycho you all or something. But yeah, I think I've seen this in the surgeons जितने भी बात करे हैं, they love their job, they love this touching the potty and surgery every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's twisted, but you know that's your calling.
Yeah. You are going to be a beautiful, very optimistic, beautiful, hardworking surgeon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So any message for the people or any junior, anybody who's going to prepare? So any message for the people whom you want to pass, that who's going to been into this journey? Advice or message? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, there are I think 2-3 rules to NEET PG. Never forget them. Never ever doubt yourself. If you have taken the idea that you're going to prepare again, you have to back yourself up. So keep your faith in yourself very, very strong and never doubt yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader and let the world doubt you. You are just going to become another YouTube video of motivation to your juniors. Always have that in mind. And you have overcome a lot, personally, this is just an exam that you have to study for. 2 years, 3 years from now, you will not care that you took a drop year or a prep year. None of this matters. All that will matter is you are in a hospital treating a patient and, enjoying that process.
So beautiful. I love you, girl. I really love talking to you. This is one of the best 1 hour I have spent.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and you are amazing. Like, I remember talking to you even in between when I used to wait for my mentors and everything. You give such a positive vibe. I think it's everyone in my journey. Touch wood, I've met you. I've met so many people. Everyone just is so nice inherently कि मेरा मन कर जाता है कि ठीक है ना, ऐसे लोगों से ही तो मिलना है, अभी आगे पढ़ते रहो, it's okay. So it just makes the journey very beautiful. So thank you.
Anything for you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best for your residency. And if you need any help, you can count on me. Anything for you all.
Thank you so much.